Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of my Road to Glory with Williams Racing. So last night, so literally less than 12 hours ago, I literally did my first ever episode of F1 Manager 2022. I debated whether to go with a big team to get the hang of the game first and then start my Road to Glory, but I thought, sod it. No, let's crack on. Let's jump straight into the game. Let's get used to everything. So thank you to anybody that watched that first episode. A massive shout out actually to Alip Dota, who commented on the video. So thank you very much to you, Alip. Who said, happy to be your second viewer. Keep it up. I'm doing Williams 2 right now. Focusing on team attractiveness first to get better sponsors for financial support. Now, he also gave me, he or she, I do apologise, also gave me another bit of information which I found really interesting. You may have noticed we produced or started developing a couple of parts. So if we go to here and look at our current projects, so there was a suspension upgrade was brought in. That was the team did that before we even began. So we already have one of those. We're manufacturing a couple of extra parts. So at the moment, for the next race in Saudi Arabia, we're only going to have one of these, which we have put on Alexander Albon's car. He's the best possible chance of getting a good result, so I've given that to him. When we get more, we'll give it to the other driver, which at this moment in time, is it going to be Latifi? Are we going to keep Latifi, or are we going to go for someone different? I'm doing a bit of scouting. I'll jump back to that again in a moment. But currently we're designing a couple of wings. We're designing a front wing and a rear wing. Now, when I was doing this last night, this was my first time playing the game, so I was, a little bit unsure how everything works. I was maybe a little bit cautious because you get a limited number. You can see at the right there, you can see the CFD MAU hours, which from memory, I think that was saying that was equivalent to every hour of that was equivalent to running about 1 million hours of computer simulation there, and then we use about 24 wind tunnel hours, and then for the rear wing, you see I did a little bit more, 2 hours with that, and 20 hours for the wind tunnel. So I was a little bit cautious. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't want to spend all my budget all in one go. But what Alip did give me a nice little comment, which gave me a little bit of extra information, saying, FYI, for wind tunnel testing and the computer simulation thingy, it gets renewed every 2 months. So don't be afraid to use it. At the start of the career, we don't have much cash to do a lot of part design and manufacture them. So I personally use the points for just one design, and manufacture in 2 months really makes a difference. So Alip, thank you very much for watching my video. That was last night. Thank you very much for your comment. Really do appreciate it. Anybody else, if you have any suggestions, like I said, I am Kevin the Geek. I have 0% brains. I have 100% geekiness, but I have 0% brains. So if you think that I've missed something, you think there's something that I could maybe take into consideration to improve Williams, try and get us to the front of that grid a little bit quicker, then please drop a comment down below. Let me know. Of course, I'm going to be streaming this series over the coming time frame. I don't know how long for. Because I'm really like these management style games, so we're really looking into this. Now, before I went live, I did take a very quick look, see if there was really anything I could be doing before the next race. And to be perfectly honest, there isn't anything, because I can't design any new parts, so we're obviously very limited in how much design we can do at any one time. So there's no point in dwelling too much on this section. We did start a bit of scouting yesterday. So if I just filter this back out here, because I look for the young drivers. I like looking for young drivers. There we go. Let me just do this. So I've got 2 drivers that I'm currently scouting, doing a detailed scouting. This should come in after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and before the start of the Australian Grand Prix. So that we can take a look at towards the end of this episode. I'll have some detailed information. Jack Doohan currently is 19. and he's the same rating as Nicholas Latifi. Theo Pourchaire, he's 1 year younger, he's 1 overall rating younger with that. Both of them will be open to negotiation, so that's a good start. That's what we want to look at. Once we've done that, what I do want to take a look at is looking to potentially upgrade the staff. Now, when you look at things here, the technical chief is not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry, I'm still learning my way through this, so I do apologise. Here we go. So when you look at that, let me take that away there. Take that away, that filter, perfect. So, here you go. Francois Javier de Maison. He is currently our technical chief for Williams. He's got a $2.1 million salary. Now, he's with us for another 3 years. So, it's going to take quite a bit to break his contract if we wanted to go for someone different. You've got 3 free agents, kind of technically above him in the rankings. You've got Nisha Khan, Pascal Munier, and T. Chuang. T. Chuang is the only one who's actually an increase in the overall rating. So we might do a bit of scouting here. Of course, all these others you can see are what we've got 5 here. 5 of them are rated higher with other teams. So you've got Pierre Wash with Red Bull, who isn't interested. Enrico Cardillo with Ferrari, he's not interested. Simone Resta, who's currently with Haas, is 80 rated, is open to negotiation. That's not a bad shout to maybe have a think about to see if Simone wants to join our team. There he is there. Matt Harmon, who's currently with Alpine. Actually no, he's not interested. And Mike Elliott, who's with Mercedes, who's also not interested. So literally the only 2 that I would even potentially consider scouting to see if we can maybe do an improvement on Francois is this one, T. Young, which, as I said, is a free agent, so there's no issues there. But Simone Resta, who is currently with Haas, I'd be, I think, potentially more tempted to go with Simone Resta personally, but obviously you'd be having to probably pay a lot more money to break him from his contract with Haas. Head of aerodynamics, though, this is where I really would want to look at changing, because you see here David Wheater, he is currently our one. Now he's also with us for 3 years, so it's going to cost about 2.5 million to break his contract, and we don't have a huge amount of budget. But after the last race, we earned about 3 million, nearly 4 million in sponsorships. So that would help us if we wanted to look into doing that. 71 rated. That's really low down. Obviously, you can see there's a lot more head of aerodynamics with other teams. The only one who's a free agent who is currently free is Salim Indongo, who's 74. So again, it's not a huge improvement there. Who's open to... So Aaron Melvin, who again is with Haas, might be doing a double poach from Haas, who knows. Aaron Melvin is currently open. Dickon Baumforth, who's currently with Alpha Tauri. Alessandro Sinelli, who's with Alfa Romeo, is another 80 rated one. That's a very big step up. The other 3, Dirk de Beer with Alpine, not interested. Jared Murphy with Mercedes, not interested. Enrico Balbo with Red Bull, not interested. I'm not surprised at that, personally speaking. Why would you necessarily want to go from a top team like Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, and drop down to Williams at the back of the grid? I can understand why you maybe want to do that. But again, my initial viewpoint, possibly Alessandro Sinelli at 80 rated. Not a bad shout to maybe take a look at once we finish our scouting. Interestingly, the one that's with Aston Martin, Ian Breed, second lowest rated head of aerodynamics across the entire thing. Look at how many free agents are between David Wheater, who's our one, and Ian Greg with Aston Martin. That's ridiculous. So, not much we can do there. Race engineers, of course, we do have, if I can find them, so we have Gaitan Jago, who is currently our race engineer for Nicholas Latifi. They have a very good relationship because they've worked together for about 3 years there. And then, of course, James Irwin, who's with us for 4 years. So, race engineers, I'm not too worried, I think, at this stage about going for necessarily anyone, because there's only a couple. So you got Ben Mitchell with Aston Martin, who's 84. That's an increase of about 7, maybe. And then Chris Cronin, who's also with Aston Martin. And then Jorn Becker with Alfa Romeo. Pierre Hamlin from AlphaTauri. And Ed Regan from Haas. So there's only, 5 that you could potentially improve on. Realistically, obviously these 3, they're literally the same rating or only one above what we've already got. So it's probably not worth breaking the contract for. Chris Cronin and Ben Mitchell, maybe. That's maybe a bit of an improvement there. So we can maybe look at that when we've got some free scouting slots. We did do some upgrades last time, so we built ourselves a helipad, and now we're currently in the process of increasing 3 areas. We're looking to improve our hospitality area to level 2, our weather centre to level 2, and of course our newly built helipad to level 2 as well. Helipad gives a little bit extra money, gives a little bit more better team attractiveness, which my understanding of that means that we get a little bit we're a little bit more favourable to other drivers, other staff members, if we want to bring them into our squad. So that may obviously open up more opportunities there. The weather centre, what that does for us, it gives us better accuracy when we're trying to predict the weather forecast, which is really, really important. We really want to maximise if we're in a wet race and the track's drying out, or if it's a dry track and we're going to get a threat of rain, we want to maximise our knowledge of when we are able to pit for the correct type of tyres to be the fastest on the grid. And then with the hospitality area, again, we're going to get a boost to the team attractiveness, and then another level of the team attractiveness there. So all of these really, really important. In staff facilities, we did improve our race simulator last time out, so it improves the weekly experience gain that our drivers get. And then we're currently improving the scouting department, so we managed to get 3 scouting opportunities at a time rather than the current 2. And with the team hub, improving this, it means our attractiveness again goes up. Our morale stays the same, but the staff weekly experience gain will also go up as well. Very big if we want to develop our staff. And then in the car development facilities, these are all very expensive. So we've only done one. We've developing the wind tunnel, which is going to take about 48 days to give us some little boosts in when we're doing our testing for developing new parts. So the current cars that we're looking at, the rear wing and the front wing, is going to take a little while to develop these. So when I had a quick look earlier, we're not going to get them until, well, it's going to be after the Miami Grand Prix is when they get, when they're finished kind of scouting and testing them. We can then start to manufacture those, because you remember we have to not only research and develop the parts, but then we've got to manufacture them. So it's always going to take time. So hopefully we're going to get them on time for the Spanish Grand Prix. And to be honest, until that point, I think we're going to be towards the back of the grid on pretty much every race, because the only thing we've got is the suspension. As I said, Alex Albon, he's got an increase for this race because he's got the new part, but for Latifi, he's not going to get that in time for this race. Sorry. So we're going to be looking forward to the Spanish Grand Prix. For me personally, I'm looking forward to going there because I actually went to Barcelona in May of this year. And I did actually go to the circuit at Catalonia. In actual fact, I was in Barcelona for a week, about 2 weeks before the actual Grand Prix race. So I was a bit disappointed I wasn't able to be there and see how what it was like on an actual race weekend. I still actually haven't been to any race weekend. That is something I really want to do. I don't live too far from Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. That is something I've been dreaming about going to for years. I've never had the opportunity to go there, but that is definitely something I want to experience at some point in the future. But like I said, there's nothing more that we can do for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, so we're going to crack straight on to the race weekend, which is in 3 days. We might have some messages in the meantime, and of course
Saturday and Sunday.
I do apologise. That was my smart speaker who just suddenly decided to talk out of the blue there. Really, I don't know why. So we're going to crack on to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And we have an important email. So, our race simulator is now operating far better than it was previously as part of the upgrade. The facility has also been refurbished to perfect condition, so it really has never been better. I've attached a report on the upgrade and its new benefits to this email. Please do visit when you can. I think you'll be impressed with the results. So, our drivers are going to get more experience weekly, on a weekly basis. Obviously, it's going to cost us $8,500 more per month to keep it running. And of course, our condition was already top notch with that, so nothing has improved there. Now we've got a preview from our staff writer Michael Loom. We're in for quite the race weekend at Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in just a couple of days. At the moment, Red Bull are leading the pack by 5 points. Max Verstappen at the top. Everyone is sure to be keeping an eye on Max Verstappen, who took first place in the last Grand Prix. To be perfectly honest, we're going to be towards the back. So we're not worried about Max. We're not worried about Charles Leclerc or anyone. For us, our aim is to beat out Aston Martin, and that is the aim. And if you watched the last episode, we had quite an exciting last couple of laps. Right at the end, we had a very late virtual safety car. I wished it was a full-blown safety car. I think that really we would have been able to close the pack up. And because we were on the soft tyres in comparison to the rest, I think we may have had a chance to not finishing in the last 2 places of that. But if you haven't seen yesterday's visit, do check it out. Click on my videos. Like, share, subscribe, all the usual stuff. I'd like to get just 1 like. Please give me 1 like for this video, and let's keep improving day by day. So now James Irwin, who's the race engineer for Albon, he's sending us an email. It's almost here, so I want to make sure that the team is prepared before we leave. Check the circuit page to help plan your strategy. Check our sponsored performance targets. Check that our car builds are using our best car designs. Okay, so let's go to the preparation. So let's take a look at the information of the Jeddah. So this one really does focus a lot more on cornering, which is one of our weaknesses. It's better than our straight line speed, so we might get a little bit of a benefit there in comparison to Bahrain, where we did have a lot more big long straights, so we really did lose out there, definitely. But for this one, there's a lot more cornering. We might be in a slightly better off position as a result of that. You can see here all of the straight sections, the slow, the medium, the fast sections. So I mean, actually, surprisingly, looking at this, there are a lot more that are considered as straights in tiny little bursts. We probably have the most amount, from the looks of it, of fast corners, which out of our 3, from my memory of the cars, if we take a look at our car analysis, show the rank on the grid. Actually, no, it's our low speeds that's our worst off. So that's actually in a better position. So and let's change over. No, not that. I want to change to car 2, because this is Alexander Albon, who's got the upgraded suspension, so he's got a little bit of improvement. So you can see here that he has a little bit of an edge in the medium and the high speed cornerings when you compare. Let's compare it to. There you go. So when you compare Williams car 2, which of course is Alexander Albon, to Latifi, it's obviously Alexander Albon who has got the benefits with these. Of course, our speed, our top speed, our acceleration, that's definitely the worst off. So that's definitely something we want look at developing. But if we change to Aston Martin, just compare those. So if we start with Lance Stroll, who is probably obviously the lower one of the two. So we really want to be beating out Lance Stroll. So if we could beat both Astons, fantastic. But at the most, I really want to try and beat Lance Stroll today. Partially because whenever I look at him and I see information, he does look like a bit of a smug git. I'm not going to lie. He's with Aston Martin. He's maybe got a bit of daddy's money. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Lance Stroll is who I want to beat out because I think we've got a better chance of beating him. He's definitely got the edge in terms of the speed. He's ranked 18th in the grid compared to Albon, who's 19th. We've got the edge of him in the medium and the high-speed corners, which is good because we have more high-speed corners. He's literally ranked bottom of the pack for the high-speed corners, whereas Albon is rated 17th. So he's definitely got an edge there, which we really want to try and use that to our advantage if we can at all, possibly. But the straights, that's where we're going to potentially look. But because we don't have a lot of the really long straights, I don't think that the top speed and acceleration is going to be that much of an issue in comparison to that, really. Oh, let me just go back here. Okay. So yeah, so you definitely see, like I said, there's a few the kind of interspersed bits, but then we've got the high speed corners. So I think we could possibly not come last today, put it that way. Time considerations. Okay, right. So compared to Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, this is what threw me because it said that you only were to gain about 3 seconds if you were to have a safety car or a virtual safety car. Here at Saudi Arabia, it is definitely considerably less. So if we do get a safety car, a virtual safety car, it is really worth considering a pit stop to get a really cheap pit stop. Even if we're a tiny bit out of our pit window, it's definitely worth it for that little bit of a boost on average, around about an 11-second gain on that. Now, in terms of the safety car and the virtual safety cars, we have had one instance over the last 4 seasons, so it's not likely realistically to be one. But then again, in Bahrain, it probably wouldn't have been expected, but we did get a virtual safety car, so we'll obviously see what happens there. The expected tyre strategy. So realistically here, we are looking potentially at a one-stop strategy, either medium to hard or hard to medium. The soft, hard, and medium is definitely potentially a possibility, but realistically, I think we would probably lose out on time with that if that were to happen. Because you can see here in the average lap times, it's less. It's about 9/100ths of a second average lap time slower from a hard compound to the soft compound. That is very negligible. So I definitely think the mediums and hards might definitely be the way to go in this particular one. So last season, in this, of course, George Russell is no longer with Williams. He is with Mercedes now. So of course we brought in Alexander Albon, so there's no real representation there. But Nicholas Latifi actually finished 12th, aided in part to having 5 DNFs. Now, even if we didn't have those DNFs, that still may have made him, 4th highest. So I'm hoping that we may get some information here, and we may possibly get something. Okay, last year was the first race of this circuit, so that's why when you're looking here, where was it? The safety car thing, when it's talking about the safety car, that was all last year. That was literally all last year. So, actually maybe gives us potentially more of a chance to get that. So we have to be really hot on our tyre strategies, having a look at, maybe conserving the tyres on the one particular stint to try and maybe wait out for a safety car. Who knows? it's going to be tricky because you don't ever know when it is. If you start on the hards, you think, oh, I'm going to stretch out. But if you get an early safety car, you don't want to pit early. But then again, you are going to save a bit of your car tyre degradation. So these are all things that we have to have a look at. Now, looking at the performance targets for the sponsorships, like last time, I'm not going to do anything because realistically, we've got very little chance of reaching Q3. If you want to do the qualifying thing, you have to put yourself as a minimum of 15th, for Q3, so I don't think we can get it. If you did that for reaching Q2, obviously you say how many drivers you want to get in that, but again, we ain't getting to Q3. We're definitely not going to get 15th, in my personal opinion. We might, and I'll be very happy if we did, but I don't think we're going to get it. We ain't going to get a fastest lap. The finishing position, again, I think you have to put yourself as a minimum of 15th, so we're not going to go for that, not at this early stage. Maybe when we get these front and rearing upgrades, then we might consider doing that. Qualifying 15th or higher for 5 races in a row, again, we're struggling to get even one, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Everything's all fine, all the parts are fitted. So the only difference here is literally the suspension. Albon has got the W22S2 suspension on, whereas Latifi has still got the original S1 suspension on. So we're going to skip on now straight to the race weekend.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is about to kick off and the atmosphere here is electric. The Jeddah street circuit has one of the fastest average speeds as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
This is indeed Formula One. And it does look like I have a live viewer, so thank you to whoever you are for joining. Welcome to this stream. This is episode 2, where we are about to start practice 1 for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. So looking at the weather forecast, as to be expected, we're expecting a completely dry weekend. So realistically, no issues with potentially needing to go for the what you call them, the intermediates or the hards. Intermediates or the wets, my apologies. Right, so we need to think about this. So what we did last time for practice 1, we went with the hards. We went straight with the hards, and we did them for both sessions. We did them for both of the 2 stints in the first session, which obviously left us 1 for the race. Because this is literally a hard and medium race track, obviously we're going to have 1 each for the race. I'm debating, do we change it up slightly? But obviously we're going to go through the tyres quite quickly. So realistically, what I'm thinking at this moment in time, I'm thinking we could still end up using the hards, because we have to have a change in tyre strategy, don't you? In this, you've got to, when it's a dry race, you have to have a change of tyre compound. So you can't do medium or hard or soft. So I definitely think we probably only need 1 set of hard tyres for the race itself. I'm thinking 2 sets of mediums for the race is definite, because if there was a safety car, then we could in theory pit, maybe not lose out too much track position, get to the back of the grid again, and then we've got a lot fresher tyres compared to everyone else. That is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking we definitely only want to use one set of the hards, one set of the mediums. Now, lifespan wise, the hards will do approximately about 45 laps. So what we did last time, I think we did about sent out for 20 laps, but I don't think we actually completed that. So we should be fine there. And this is 32. So again, if we're aiming about 15 laps per session, then that may work for us. We do that twice. And then for practice 3, we go with the softs and we make sure that we have 2 sets remaining for qualifying. And then we've obviously got one for the race. Again, in case of a safety car, we've got a set of softs depending where we are in the race. If that were to happen, realistically, if there's no safety car and it's not quite late on, I can't imagine that we're going to use the softs in the race itself. Personally speaking, so that will literally be our one. So we want to have 2 mediums, 1 hard, and 1 soft for the race itself. That's what we're going to go with. So we'll put Latifi on the hards. So the car setup, I quite liked this last time out. It took a little while. I thought I was never going to get there, and as we kept doing the practice sessions, we got to a really good setup. I think both of them were felt about 85% confident with the setup we found. So I'm just going to kind of have a bit of a play around with these, try and probably get as close to the minimum as I can. So I'm just trying to get that one that's quite out there. So if I bring that a bit higher up, right, I think that is reasonable shout. We're in those. Obviously, it'll get narrow. We can fine tune it as we get closer to it. I think that's reasonable there. And so yeah, we're going to fuel up for about 20 laps out, I think. Okay, and now we take a look at Alexander Albon. So again, we're going to go for a set of hards. So we're going to do 2 stints on that. They're all fitted, that's fine. The car setup. So I'm happy with that. Again, not too worried at this stage. It gets better as you go along. So let's go to practice number 1.
Radio check. Copy, radio check.
Copy, radio check. Session has now started, and I like this. I like the radio messages. I think they've done, the developers, Frontier Developments, they've done an amazing job with things like this. It really kind of authenticates it and makes it look really good. So we're going to send out both drivers. There you go, there's Latifi in car number 6, Albon in car number 23. My personally favourite number, that's my birthday. So I think at this stage we're the only 2 drivers. Yeah, we're the only 2 drivers out on the track itself. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on here. I'm going to let it play out. I just need to quickly nip to the toilet, so we'll let all this kind of play out for a few laps. I'll speed up the time a little bit. There we go. We're in double speed now. Both of them kind of have a bit of time together. Maybe I should have sent about slightly different, so there's a little bit of a gap between them. Yeah, should I call him in? Yeah. Now I'll call him in. Give us a little bit of a gap to our one. There we go. Now we've got a bit of a gap to them, so that they're not necessarily running, right in each other's tails and everything. I think that's a little bit better. Got a bit more time there. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to quickly nip to toilet. So I'll leave all this kind of here running just while I go and do that, and I'll be back momentarily. So we're probably getting to about halfway time through this stint. Albon is currently beating out Stroll just by a tiny amount. He's about 5/10 off Vettel at this moment in time. Let's. Oop. There we go. But Vettel is on the softs, which, like I said, when we looked at that at the start, it is only marginally faster. So I'm happy with the with the current state of where we are at this moment in time. What I'm now thinking, there you go, there's the gaps to each individual one. So we've got a little bit of fuel, so I'm gonna just ask both of them just to push a little bit, use a bit more fuel. We'll speed up time a little bit more, I think. Bring this back down to balance.
Okay.
Okay, what does Albon think?
I'm having huge understeer. Like
Really bad
huge.
understeer. Okay,
Yeah, roger.
so let's call the car in. And what does Latifi think?
Capacity?
Car is still so on edge.
Yeah, that's also
Copy.
not very good. So definitely we haven't got the balance right. Okay, so let's take a look here. So yeah, the only thing that's getting quite good is cornering, but everything else, yeah, really bad. So let's try and make some adjustments, see what we can do to the only one that's out of range there is that's where we were there. Let's try that. So for him, the oversteer's not bad, but everything else is bad. So let's make some changes here. The opposite direction there, I think. Actually, let's take out 2 laps of fuel there, I think. And then we can send them out again. So a little bit closer now, Albon to Vettel, only a 10th in it now, which is a little bit better. Yeah, so send out Albon. And send out Latifi. And this will set us up to the end of free practice 1. So we'll have 2 stints to see how they feel with the cars. So definitely Latifi is struggling, I think, a little bit compared to the rest. Obviously he hasn't got that suspension upgrade, but that car would have that by the next race. Whether we have a new driver or not is going to be another matter. Hopefully by the end of the next lap or two, we're going to get an update. Oh, here we go. What does Albon think of the car? Something still feels off. That's fine. Well, I'm going to keep him out because we're not going to be able to do anything to get changes for the end, so we'll keep him out.
So much speed.
And Latifi's losing speed as well. So, like I said, there's not much more that we can really do here. So we'll just keep them going. They can obviously get a little bit more track acclimatization with this. Yeah, we've got enough fuel to keep going for the last couple of minutes.
I made a mistake. And another grip is just all over the place. Right on the edge. Yeah, fine.
Let's
Oh,
have a
Latifi
look.
crashed.
Now we see the Williams here.
Oh.
And there we see the crash.
Oh! Wow, it looks like we've...
Was my bad.
Oh.
Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
Right. So Latifi is literally crashed. He's broken his front wing. Bit of a pity, we don't really want that to happen. It's not ideal.
Anyway, good job. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's not ideal. Being obviously a back market team, we've got very limited funds and everything. We don't really ideally want to be losing wings at this early stage, but we do have 4, I believe, in the warehouse, so we do have some spares there, and of course we are in the developments for the new front wings as well. So we'll just get to the end of this session and then we'll take a look and see where we currently are. But it was this in Bahrain as well. It wasn't something that happened straight away. We weren't getting good results straight away. So Lance Stroll's fastest was on the softs, Vettel's was on the hard. So when you compare the two, Vettel probably either has better acclimatization or a better kind of setup at this moment in time, but that we're going to hopefully look to improve as we go. So moving over to practice 2. So right, so first we want to do okay, so it looks like we've already changed that front wing, so that's okay. So don't need to worry about that. That was something I was thinking that we're going to have to worry about. So how many laps did we do of that? Does it say how many we did? So it says 45. And we did, we've got 16 left, so that's what, 39. So we did about 29 laps thereabouts for Latifi with the hard tyre, and he got to about 34%. So that's something useful to take into it. And we're going to go for the mediums for the next one. Car setup, he's got 50% confidence at the moment. So right, so the oversteer is great. He's happy with that. The traction and the straights he's happier with, but it's the braking stability and the cornering, and of course the cornering is where we did the crash. So we'll try and make a couple of tweaks. Right, So I think let's go with that. Go for about 15 laps, I think. For that is about right. So again, we want to put Alexander Albon on the medium compound. His confidence is not great. So the cornering and tractions are good. We did have great for the cornering, but that's still not great. So we want to try and get these a little bit higher there. Oh, and we can bring that down again. Right, so the straights, we've got to work on this straight away to get that down into the right hand level. So that will good there. Then we can make the adjustments to everything else there. So let's go the right. Let's go with that, I think. And yep, again 15 laps, that's what we're going to go for. Perfect. Let's go to practice 2.
Radio check. You hear me okay? Copy, radio check.
Right. So send Latifi out straight away. And then we'll just let get on the track itself, and then we'll send out Albon as well. And go. There we go. That gives them a little bit of breathing room. Okay. Let's go. Let's see how we get on with this one. So present Albon's better than Vettel. That's good to see. Stroll hasn't gone out yet. Oh no, there he is. Okay, so Albon is faster than Stroll and Vettel. That's looking good. That's looking a lot more promising. Latifi is closer. He's only about a tenth or so behind Vettel. So we're definitely at this moment in time, I'm feeling a little bit more confident, seeing how things go. And Latifi's faster than Vettel. He's gone faster than and he's gone back again. I should know by now. I shouldn't get too excited with these things. So we're just waiting to see how he feels about this. Should be any moment now.
When you have it, give me feedback on balance.
It's okay for now.
Copy. Copy.
Okay, so it's getting better. So let's reconfigure him. So straight is about optimal. Traction is still bad. So let's see what we can do to do that. Let's try that there. So we've only made a slight adjustment there. And Albon's saying it's feeling pretty good. So again, it's promising. We're about just over a tenth up on Stroll at this moment in time for Albon. And Latifi's very close to Vettel. Right, here we go. Right. So, braking's still bad, traction's still bad. So that's what we want to improve on here. Okay. Right, so let's see if we can now go out. And Albon can go out. Okay, so again, I'm going to leave it here for now. Because I'm just getting a phone call, so I just need to take this phone call. So I'll be back again momentarily. I'll leave this here and we'll see how we get on as well. Lord. Apologies everyone for that. That's my darling sister and my beautiful nephew need to know where I'm going to go pick up a parcel for them today. All fun and games. Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes left of session 2 of this. So we're obviously seeing how we get on with this slight tweaks to the setup. Oh,
the grip is just very, very poor on the edge of overs here.
And this is a tyre wear situation. Okay.
Understood.
Well,
Guys, these oscillations are killing me. Anything we could do?
yeah, well, we need to get a full setup.
There's low speed in 3, it's just gone. Okay, understood.
Okay, right.
Is everything okay?
Right. So I think we had to do this last time. So we did have to make the change to a soft compound tyres to get to the end, really. Right, let's see if he's coming in. reconfigure. Want to go to the tyres. There goes Albon, and there goes Latifi. Right, so we should now get the last little bits of data for the last end part of this session. So, like I said, compared to the last race, Latifi's a lot closer than I expected he probably would be with Vettel. So this is promising. Oh, well, it was until just then. Right.
Feedback when capacity.
Well, good for me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good job, guys.
Copy.
So how are we looking? Oh, that's looking good. Got 4 greats and an optimal, so it's feeling 94% confident with the setup. That is good. We're not going to make any changes to that because I don't think we're going to improve on that. I think we're only going to, well, I don't know, maybe make a tiny little tweak, possibly see. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get much better than that because we can at least go back to the best setup.
Okay.
How's he feeling?
Car feels pretty good.
Car feels pretty good. I'm happy with that. How's he feeling? He's feeling 84%. So there's definitely still some tweaks we want to make for Albon. Looking at this, we're in the right top of areas. Oversteer, that's definitely something we want to take because it looks like we're just outside of the kind of peak area from the looks of it. So we definitely want to see what we can do there with that. But for now, we're literally going to fast forward right to the end of the session. Nothing more we can do right here, right now. We'll just wait for everyone to come in and finish off this session.
Okay, that's end of session.
So like I said, Latifi, he's feeling very happy with the setup. That is really, really good. I'm really, really happy with that. You can't, I mean, you can get 6% better than that. So he's going to get 3+ at this current stage, boost to his control, 3+ for his accuracy, 3+ for his cornering, 2 for his braking, and 2 for his reactions. Albon, as it currently stands, 3 for control, 3 for accuracy, 2 cornering, 2 braking, 2 reactions. Right. And now we're going to be moving on to Saturday.
Thank you for joining us as our race weekend unfolds.
We're on to Saturday, which, of course, in real life, we're on Saturday right now, and I believe we're either in the middle of practicing or we have.
It's not just about
we've already kind of finished it.
No, they'll need to prove over the course of qualifying that they have what it takes.
I know, so practice is literally starting now, or literally, what, about 5-10 minutes ago. So that's literally happening for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, and then quali is at 3 o'clock. Obviously, this is UK time, of course. Okay, so we're definitely going for the softs now. So go for these. Oh, it's got 19 laps. We've only done 2. Oh, no, so we're doing it. Yeah, so we've got to go for that one. That's fine. Right, car setup. Can we make a couple of tweaks? So we have to be so careful that we don't screw this up here. Right, I've literally made the tiniest little tweak. change the front wing angle by, I think that's half a degree. There it is. I think that's just a tiny thing. The straights, that is keeping that pretty much at optimal. I don't think we can do much more without really screwing that up. So I think that's worth going with. For Albon, we do need to try and make a tiny bit more of a tweak, I think. So let's take a look. So yeah, oversteer, we want to change that. So let's try and get that into that level. Right, so we've got to... let's put this back to normal to make it a bit easier. So the first two is the only ones that we can do that is going to affect the straights. So I want to keep, if we change that, there, then we can make changes here. Right, thinking about that might work for us. So let's go with that. See how we get on there.
Radio check.
Radio check, loud and clear.
It's green now.
We should go straight out. There we go. Straight out on the track. We want to maximise the amount of time that we can get out here. So again, we've got about an hour. So again, if we stay very, very close to Vettel and Stroll, I'm going to be happy. Push a little bit on the fuel for both of these. A lap or two. Or three. Once we get to 4, we're going to just lower down the fuel. Oh. Oh. Have the tyres gone? Did we maybe push a bit too much?
Back on the car.
Oh, feels great. Right, pull the car back in. And Unwin, how's he feeling? feeling pretty good. So it looks like we're a little bit better, 89%. Here comes Latifi. So at 89%, so we're definitely not as good as we were before. So we'll definitely revert back to the previous setting. Or do we... Yeah, stay with that same set of tyres. I don't think there's any need to do that. Let's maybe do one less lap of fuel there. .76. So again, those changes we made, it didn't work for us. So we'll go back to previous setup. Stay with them tyres. Again, go down a lap. Now we can just give them a nice old boost to their acclimatisation. This is always the hardest bit. When you get to that point, you're like, what more can I do? Literally, what more can I do on this? Right. So, it's 94% confidence in the car, which is better than what we had before. That's definitely what we wanted. Right, so when you get the invalid configuration, that's what thing brings them in automatically without you necessarily having to do it. So we definitely underfueled clearly to do that. So hopefully they've got really good track acclimatization. So we did end up bottom. Latifi in the end 4/10 off Stroll, and Albon was literally just shy of 1,000th. No, sorry, 1/100th. So 100th or 8,000ths of a second off Stroll, which is so marginal. I think that is really very good, personally speaking. Just waiting for these final cars to come in. There we go. And now we're going to move over to qualifying, where I'm expecting we're going to get knocked out in the first one, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, Latifi. He's very confident with his parts because obviously he's got all new parts. 92% track acclimatization, 94% confidence, whereas Albon 100%, 90% and 84%. So Latifi is the one who gets the biggest boost for the race itself. The only one that's a 2 increases reactions, everything else is a 4. Whereas for Albon, it is the bottom 2, I believe, the braking and reactions are both 2, all the rest are a 3 boost because of how well they've done. So, slightly sunny, slightly cloudy. So same conditions as this, so we're going to go straight into this. So best practice time, 1:33.8 and 1:34.1 for Albon and Latifi, respectively. So here we go.
Radio check.
So we're not going to make the mistake that we did last time, where we literally thought, let's wait it and wait it out and everything. So we're going to try and do some more track runs. So maybe, possibly, well, definitely 3, possibly 4. If we do that, we'll probably have a couple of sets of the softs, and maybe 1 or 2 of them we go out on the same one twice. So let's start with Latifi. You go out straight away. So I'm letting them do the automatic stuff for all the various bits and bobs for this. I'm not going to worry about telling them to push at certain times or not push at certain times. That's for them to deal with there. So you can't see the TV up in front of him. So we'll go on board for Latifi for the first one, and he's coming around the final corner, and we're about to start. Ooh. First one, here we go, and we're off. So hugging the line quite nicely there. Quite close to the curves, which is good. We don't want to be on the curves if we can avoid it. That's good. So obviously we've got a lot of these really fast corners on this one, which, you know, hopefully suits our car a little bit better than Vettel and Stroll, of course, you know, long term. On a big long straight here, which of course is where we do lose out. We don't have the best straight line speed. We've got literally probably the worst one in the whole field at this moment in time. Going on to the curves a little bit as we go right around the tight corner onto the left, and then a big right hand straight into the left again, and ease out to go flat out. A slight round to the right and to the left again. We've got a big left-hander coming up, or a fast left-hander, followed by the right. Keep going all the way around. This street circuit, it is definitely possible that we could get safety cars, so of course strategy is going to be very key in this. We're coming up to the final corner, braking maybe a little bit early, hug around nice and tight, and there, round on the curb, and down the straight towards the first line. And we're going to be the first one across, so of course we are going to be top of the leaderboard straight away. And we go purple in the final section, which of course that will go soon. So 132.0. First of all, this is not bad. And Albon goes 3.3 tenths quicker at this moment in time. Okay, so just speed up, going back to the pits. So that was about 5 minutes, so we'll probably get 3 runs, I'm thinking. Okay. So we do have 3 sets available to us. Considering I think we're only going to need 1 for the race, I'm happy to use a new set each time with this. And let's just give it a tiny bit, let these go past, there we go. And I guess send out again. So let's allow them to get around the track. Oh, we're in a little bit of traffic, stuck behind the Alpine there. That's not ideal. Get out of the way. Is he on the flank? There we go. No, must be on either. Oh! That screwed him up. That has literally screwed him up. So we're going to call him in straight away. No point wasting it if we don't need to. There we go, gone straight past him there. So currently Albon and Latifi both ahead of Stroll. Stroll's had a really bad lap. Ocon's had a very bad lap as well. He must have got stuck in some sort of traffic as well. But Albon is currently slower in the first section compared to his first lap. So again, that may have been some traffic holding him down. A little bit of a difficulty there because he had to go around the car who was on the slowdown. But he's gone better in his second section. Did Albon improve? I don't believe he did. And Albon's about to be in. Ricciardo also slower than Latifi at the moment. Use the same stat. Alright, so Latifi would get him out straight away again. So again, we're going to speed up. Albon, we're going to hold back now until right towards the end of the session. Hopefully we can manage to get good track position and manage to get a clean run for the final attempt of the session. Okay. So Latifi currently on the bottom five. Albon just outside, ahead of Tsunoda, Latifi, Ricciardo, Stroll, and Ocon. Vettel is currently about a tenth up. Russell again very low down, but I'm sure he will pick up the speed. He'll get a better one. Bottas currently in second. That's very good for him. Guangzhou up to seventh. Really good to see here. So how is Latifi doing on his first sector? He is green in the first sector. Because obviously there's not many cars out here at the moment. Let me just do this, get him ready before I forget, so we are in a position to be ready to take advantage of this. When we need to. Yeah, that's fine. So he's green on his first sector. Is he going to be green in the second sector? He is faster, so he's faster in both of his first two sectors. That's really promising to see. Really like to see that. Albon's just chilling, getting ready for the opportune time to come out. And Latifi coming up on the final straight. Where's he go? He's go from 17th, 28.02. So he does improve. He improves by about 700ths of a second. So not a huge amount. He's above Tsunoda right now. So, but it is an improvement. So sector 3 is definitely where we're losing out. I think most of that is probably a bigger straight, even though it doesn't really look like a straight to me personally. But that's what's giving him the absolute boost there. Oh, sorry, that's probably what slowed him down in that final section. Right, all the other cars are starting to go out, so I'm going to send out Albon. Hopefully we've got just enough time. Let's do this straight away, no dilly-dallying, no messing about here. There we go. And there goes Latifi. So it looks like I think he's either got the Haas or the Alfa Romeo right behind him. Make it a little bit tricky. He's slower in both of his first two sectors. Both drivers currently in the bottom two. Vettel, so Latifi is ending bottom. Either he didn't manage to cross the line in time, or he just didn't improve. But Albon has managed to split the Aston Martins, and that was the aim. That was the aim coming into this qualifying session. I wanted to at least beat one of them, and we have absolutely. Alexander Albon by just shy of a tenth of a second, he has beaten out Lance Stroll there, and Lance Stroll himself, Latifi was in the best lap. Only 2/10 behind Aston Martin. So compared to the last race and the last qualifying, we're a heck of a lot closer than we were to Aston Martin. So this potentially is a good option for a race on this particular instance.
The grid is packed, so there's electricity in the air. But there's no surprises in that. It's race day.
Williams had a good performance in qualifying. Now they'll be eager to demonstrate that they can have an even better race. Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them to defy expectations for the race itself. The weather is beautifully clear tonight, which is one less problem for the teams to face. Of course, that doesn't take anything away from the unpredictability of this race.
Well, the streets of Jeddah are abuzz, and the teams are nearly ready for the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Okay, so that is qualifying done. We did end up at the bottom of the grid, which I knew we were going to. Like I said, this is going to be a long haul event to get Williams to the top. It's not going to happen overnight in 2 races. It's going to be a big change, and obviously the first couple of races is going to be difficult because you've got not until approximately the Barcelona race, or possibly Monaco, depending on how the manufacturing goes. That's not going to be until we get our first big upgrades that we're currently building ourselves. So we need to move over now, look at the strategies for this. I mean, basically it's one or two. Do you go mediums hard, or do you go hard mediums? There's, in my opinion, there is absolutely no benefit going on to the softs unless we get a safety car right towards the end. Now we are going to split this strategy, so I am going to go with hards first for Latifi. Let's just have a look, see what we get if we make adjustments here. So of course, as we do that, we get increase of time. So I'm going to be aiming presently for lap 35 to change over for the hard compound tyres. Possibly as early as 32, possibly as late as 38. Or is that 36? 38, 36, something like that. But again, we've got the options of changing to softs if that possibly benefits us. If we get a safety car or something like that, and maybe swap onto softs a bit earlier, and if we get something towards the middle of the race, and then go for the mediums towards the end, maybe, or go for an earlier one if yeah, depending where safety car may fall, if that is the case. So we're going to go strategy B there for Latifi. For Albon, we're going to go strategy A. We're going to start on the mediums and go longer with the hards for the end part of that. So again, let's take a look, see here. So look to push them a little bit further, around about lap 24, I think, is about right. 24 to 27 is probably about there or thereabouts. Again, might go slightly earlier, slightly later, depending on us, because we've got that wiggle room for the hards towards the end. But Albon is going to be starting on the mediums. He's obviously higher up the grid. We want to take advantage against Stroll and Vettel. So that's how we're going. I'm going to maybe take out just one lap of fuel for each of these. I mean, I could do up to 4. But no, I'm just going to go by just one lap, because from the looks of it, the fuel consumption has been reasonably good, and of course, again, if we get a safety car, actually that's a good point. Actually, I'm going to take them down 2, take each one down by 2, just under fuel, very, very slightly, because again, if we get a safety car, we're going to get a big bumper of it. I am probably gambling on the safety car in this race, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to obviously see how things go on. So that is everything. There's no more changes we can make. Can we avoid being the bottom 2 on the grid for this race? I sincerely hope so. Let's get into it. The actual race for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Clear
Here we go.
Tonight, with the drivers having now arrived at their grid positions. Here we have Alexander Albon. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. Next up for the team, it's Latifi. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. Will their hard work pay off today? We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go!
Good luck for the race.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for that. And, oh! Albon, unfortunately, he got squeezed out there. He really got squeezed out there and lost out. But he's already got the place back on Albon, so that's good. Let's see. Let's get on board there. Let's take a little look-see here. I'm just going to ask him to push a little bit on the first one, on the first lap or 2. See, Latifi, we want to conserve the tyres a little bit, so I'm not going to ask him to push too much at this stage.
Full deploy.
Yes.
And we're right behind Stroll here. Can we get an overtake done? We're right behind him. Can we do it? We're getting up alongside him. He's on the soft compound tyres. I'm surprised with that, to be honest. And, oh, I thought we were going to get him there. I thought we were going to get him. Back off for a second. Go up into overtake. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's use the overtake. Copy.
And back down into neutral there. Okay, so now we're going to settle into the race a little bit.
You can afford to drop back.
Want to make sure we maintain our tyres. If we get with a bit of room spare, then of course we'll go for that again. Looking a bit high, Vettel's still quite close behind us, followed by Latifi there. Like I said, I just want to be one of the Aston Martins. If I get both, perfect. That I'll be really happy with. So Stroll is already dropping back from Mick Schumacher up ahead. So if it gets once the DRS gets enabled, I think we'll be in a position that we can go for Stroll, and obviously Stroll won't have the DRS from Schumacher above to attack. So he'll be left a little bit defenceless, which will be really good. What is the tyres? Because obviously I saw right. So okay, so Alonso, Norris, Stroll and Vettel, they're the only ones on the softs. That's surprising because I didn't think the the softs were really a good tyre strategy unless you've got a safety car, you know, and you can really go for it, particularly towards the end. So I'm surprised that they're going for that. So DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled. Oh, very close to the back of Stroll there. And let's deploy a bit of the ERS.
Yeah, deploy. Yeah, sure.
Want to attack him. Really want to go for him. Want to get past Stroll. He's got the worst corners, so definitely that first part of the track, like I said, is definitely where we want to try and take advantage if we can. Latifi looks like he's just now outside of DRS range from Vettel, which is a shame. Here we go. Are we going for a move on Stroll? Are we going for a move on him? Right behind him. We're literally on his tail. Literally right on him. I want to really transcend it when we get to straight. And are we going to overtake him? Round the outside, into the inside, and we've got past Stroll!
Okay, that's good, that's good.
I really want to take advantage of this while we can. He's right behind us. He's got DRS there.
Okay.
And Vettel's right behind him as well. We're just looking to deploy this all the way down straight, so we can just make sure we stay away from him down the straight where we are, you know, the worst on the grid. Right, okay, so we're going to drop that back there and drop that back down to neutral. Okay. Obviously, this is going to be very tit for tat all the way through this race. I'm not expecting much else here. It's going to be the way it goes. So we started off the race obviously underfueling by about 2 laps. Albon has already got really down with that. So that's good. Good to see in terms of fuel consumption. How we're getting on there. Latifi is now also down to 0.07. So where we are compared to the start of the race, fuel consumption is extremely good for our team. Tyre wear is the other one where we want to really see how we get on with these. So Latifi's dropping the back a little bit, and I want to just push him up to the aggressive just a little bit.
Copy. Yeah.
Right, so, but we're going to speed up the time now a bit. Let's go through these a little bit.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Oh, Stroll's taking him again. As I said, it's going to be very tit for tat here. And then I think we're going to drop him back down standard again.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Oh,
Let's take a
Verstappen's locked
closer
up.
look.
That's
Now
not good for the
here we see
leaders. What
Max
happened here?
Verstappen. And there's
Ooh.
the lock-up. It almost got away from them entirely.
The tyre wear is looking really good at the moment. That's what we want to see. Fuel is really good, so we're going to really push for Albon. Really want to push for his fuel. Let's use up that fuel.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
There we go. I've taken him again.
Now watch this. Here's the
This is on the
moment involving
straights.
Albon.
Bit of DRS, breezed past him, absolutely breezed past him. Of course, they are on the soft compound towers. They're in lap 12, so I reckon they're probably going to be pitting soon. I think they are going to be pitting, and I think because they're on the softs, they're going to be going for a two-stop. So with us going to be on the one, and Stroll is the one who's already. This is a problem when you go so fast, and obviously these bits pop up. You go like this. You miss those bits when you're a bottom field team. So when we get higher up, it'll be a lot easier to see how we're getting on. But yes, so far, Alonso, Norris and Stroll, they're the only ones who've pitted. So what tyres? So Stroll's gone on to the hard compound tyres. So he's definitely going to be making a two-stop. There's no way he's going to get to the end on a set of softs. One set of hards from here. There's absolutely no way. And Vettel is also in. Once Vettel, he also goes on. So they are definitely doing it. They're definitely going onto these. So I want to keep an eye on these. And we're losing back on field, so let's push that back again. So Latifi's not great with his fuel consumption. He's just sort of averaging with all of them. Let's use your S a bit more. Get that used. Tyres are definitely a little bit better for wear.
So what DRS?
Yep.
Copy, confirm.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Low fuel, so be mindful of that.
Yeah, I know we've got low fuel. That's why I'm on balance. Don't worry. Right. So where is he? So he's literally. So right, so we've got all of this lap. So let's just take a look. See here. Where are we? We're on about 35%. What was the last lap? So they were about half a second a lap quicker on that last lap. So they could obviously be getting quicker. So I think we should go for the pit. So we are going for the hards as we planned. So we literally want to attack this, want to push hard and deploy all of our ERS.
Boxing this lap.
Yes, okay, box.
Okay, so let's follow him as he comes round for this final lap. So we are, of course, going to end up behind both Vettel and Stroll. That's absolutely fine because they're on a different strategy. They're on a two-stop. We're on a one-stop. And I think this is definitely the better way to go. Personally, I really do. So we're really pushing. Really pushing hard. Latifi's doing fantastically well. Really well. Not concerned about him at all. It's about 3.8 behind. That's going to happen. Obviously, we've got a slightly better suspension for this race, so that's going to have a little bit of an advantage. obviously, if Latifi, if Vettel catches up to Latifi, we want to use Latifi to defend. We want to really, try and get him to defend. Things in the pit lane. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, Albon's in. Albon's in. So Vettel is now just coming past the pit lane. So of course he's definitely going to end up past him. And Stroll is also, I think, just coming up. There we go. There's the entrance to the pit lane. He's going down, so he's going to end up behind in front of Albon, I think. Oh. No, Albon does manage to get ahead of Stroll.
By 1 level.
Yeah, okay.
So that's good. That is really, really good there. Really good that we got ahead of Stroll. And we're about 3 seconds ahead of him. So that bodes well for beating Stroll in this race. Really, really happy with that. Are they going to do a soft, hard, soft? That's what I'm guessing that they might do. Is it a bit of a stretch? Maybe, maybe not. So I want to focus a little bit more on Latifi now. Because of course he is the one who will be the next one to pit. But we'll speed up again because it's a little while away. He's only about halfway through at the moment, so a little while to go.
Looks like there's been a lock-up.
We are happy with fuel.
Copy.
Let's just conserve your fuel a little bit, mate. Let's get that into the optimum ranges. And we'll do the same, I think, for our one as well. There we go. Right. But the tyres are still good. Do we pit early? No, I don't think we do. But I think we can afford to push a little bit more with those tyres.
Heads down, focus.
Copy.
But maybe because Latifi is pretty much, I don't know. Okay.
Okay, max saving, max fuel saving.
Yep, copy.
Leaf core increase, please.
So Stroll is now in the pits. What is he going to? Surely he must be going for mediums. I presume he's going for the mediums. This early. 16 laps? Yes, he is. He's absolutely going for the mediums. But what I'm thinking is using Latifi. I want to use him to defend. Because Vettel is behind. If we can slow him down, that really gives Albon a really good chance to go ahead. Really, really does.
DRS is currently disabled. DRS is currently disabled.
And if we can slow down.
And go push, go push.
Copy.
I want to try and hold a Vettel if we can. But is he going back? Oh, he has.
It's shocking.
The situation is at your P18. P18.
That was annoying. I thought we might have been able to hold him up a little bit. So we're just going to attack for a little bit. Really extend the tyre length as best as we can. Maybe we'll get a little safety car. Doubtful, but who knows. I'm not sure how it works on this game. In the normal Formula 1 game where you do the driving yourself, you get into puncture territory when you hit 75% of your tyres or 25% remaining. I don't know if this is the same for this game. If it is, we're getting to that crossover, that cut-off point, I think. Yeah, so we're just pushing for another lap or two before we switch over to oh, here we go. Yep. Right, we're going to go for it. We are going to go for it.
And box, box.
Box, box.
Increase lifting coast.
So Stroll's already made his first one, but Vettel hasn't as of yet. Stroll's tyre wear must have been really bad, because Vettel was only a couple of laps after him, and he's still about 59% of his lap time. So that's surprising. Surely he's going to make another stop. Surely. If Stroll's already made one, I can't see why Vettel would be able to make it to the end as well. Just pushing all out now. This is the in lap. And I think we can afford to then go aggressive, not maybe attack, but aggressive on the tyres when we come out. So then it gives us quite a bit of a wiggle room there. And I think that was Albon just re-overtaking Latifi, so he's definitely a lap behind there. And his tyre wear is definitely better than expected, so we'll just go slightly aggressive for a little bit. And we'll get back on. We've got
Vettel
about...
has just pitted.
Oh, there we go. There's Vettel.
Can push through all corners.
So surely Albon is going to beat both Vettel and Stroll.
Good luck for the race.
Oh, message. Good luck for the race. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're doing pretty well. We're going with the one-stop strategy, whereas Aston Martin are going with the two-stop. So Vettel is currently 15 seconds behind Albon. What? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What tyre is he on? He's on the mediums. But from the estimates, they didn't seem to be that much quicker than the hard. So I think we're still going to maintain that gap, personally speaking. I think we'll still manage to do it. And our tyres are nicely warmed up, which is everything that you want to get. So I think this will go well for us. I think we're going to possibly beat both of them. Latifi is currently ahead of Stroll, which I'm surprised with. Didn't necessarily think he probably would. Tyre slightly overheating. Okay, let's just back off there slightly.
Okay, back
Take
off.
fuel back to balance a little bit. And we'll just speed up a little bit. And is Latifi going to get overtaken? He almost certainly is. He's a very slow driver. And he's got a slower car compared to Albon. Albon's now increasing his gap 16 seconds. So this is looking well. This is looking really, really well.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved
Yeah,
up
we
a
knew that
place.
was going to happen. So for Albon, this one-stop strategy has definitely worked out here.
Low fuel, so be mindful of that. Got it.
Okay, we want to increase lift and coast.
Yeah, we're absolutely
Okay.
fine. Tyre wear, definitely fine there.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Latifi overtakes
Let's take a
Stroll.
look at the replay.
Oh, let's
Now
see
let's
this.
look. We're watching
So we come down the main
Nicolas Latifi.
straight. ERS should be open. Yes, it is. And he breezes past him. Absolutely breezes past
A
him.
bold move indeed. And with that, they've gained a position.
Wow. Well done, Latifi.
Back in the
Let's try not to
garage,
finish
the team
bottom.
absolutely
Let's
lost it.
not finish bottom. Let's do this.
Is that a lockup?
And Stroll's already overtaken him again.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
But it's quite nip and tuck. Compared to what it was last time, where he was like 30 odd seconds behind, it was brilliant. So it's really backwards and forth in
And a
there.
new position just gained by Williams.
Oh,
Copy.
There's been a crash. Here's the
Russell's
replay.
crash.
Now,
What does this mean? Are we
watch the
possibly get a
Mercedes
safety
here.
car?
That
Oh,
crash is terrible
Oh.
news for the team.
and the wing's gone. So, do we take a gamble if a safety car comes up? We've only got 5 laps. Got to be careful. Got to be on our guard here. What do we do? Got to find out what's happening. I mean, it looks like it's green flag running at the moment. I mean, Russell, he's moving. He's just behind Latifi, but Latifi is going faster than him. So, Russell's definitely got damage. He's definitely got damage. But I don't think we're going to get a safety car. I don't think. Surely we're not going to get... No, if Russell's now pitting, everything's all fine, we're not going to get a safety car. So, we're going into final 5 laps. Latifi is ahead of Stroll still as we currently stand. So, I want him to harvest his ERS. Albon's got loads of time. He's got 18 seconds over Vettel. So unless something monumental happens, he ain't going anywhere. So I want him to charge up his ERS. I want him to go for a fastest lap right at the very end. It ain't happening, but we're going to go for it anyway. But Latifi is the one that we really need to focus on. We really need to focus on. So we look to really harvest his ERS. We want to really push and go for this right at the end. No, we're not gonna... Not gonna risk it with Albon. We're not gonna risk anything. Latifi, though, we need to see what's happening here. So Stroll's overtaken him again. Get out of the way, let me see. 2 seconds behind. Oh, I thought it was a lot closer. It's good for that. Right, you bounce there. Right.
Make sure you give something energy.
Copy.
Could we get an exciting final end to it? Oh my god, it's 3.5 seconds. Where the hell has that happened? Where the hell has that gone? He must have had a look. He was literally like, they were neck and neck passing each other. Oh, that's gutting. That's really gutting. Right, we're gonna really attack.
And you'll go push.
Copy. Currently 3 laps remaining of the race.
3 laps? Lap 49 and 50? That doesn't sound right. So back down to 2.5 seconds. Could we do this? Could we manage to do it?
Toes up, really coming down. Yeah, A firm.
Okay.
I made a mistake.
Oh, what's happened? Who was that? It was Latifi.
Let's have a look. Now,
Is that a
let's look.
crash?
We're watching Nicholas Latifi.
Oh, he's locked up. Oh.
Clearly see the contact there, and that caused a lot of damage.
Got penalty. A 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. All that good work. All that good work right towards the end. That's gutting. That's really, really gutting. I thought he was going to be able to get Stroll for the last couple of laps, and then he just throws it away, as Latifi always does. So he's crashed in one of the practices to lose us a wing. He's obviously crashed and caused a collision there right at the end.
And this will be the last lap coming up. Yep, copy.
Very disappointing end to the race. Very, very disappointing there.
So what DRS?
Copy.
But for Albon, he's going to finish ahead of both of the Aston Martins. Carlos Sainz wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for his first ever win in Formula 1. I know that's not actually in real life. It's only in the game, but in the game he's done it faster than he did in real life. So well done to you, Carlos Sainz. Claire coming in second, Perez third, Verstappen in fourth. That's surprising. And Russell, he's down in 11th, but then again he did have a so he had a spin out, he lost his front wing, so of course that's demoting him down. But Albon, here he is, coming towards the finishing line. And there it is. Well done, Albon. You're 35 seconds behind the Haas, so clearly we've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. But you finished 14 seconds ahead of Vettel and Stroll. And that simply was because Aston Martin messed up their strategy. They went for a 2-stop, they went advantageous, and they messed it up. They added in, they literally did a soft, a hard, and a medium, where we just did a hard and a medium. And that's worked out well for us in the end. So well done, Albon. Well done to me. I got the strategy right. I say me. But no, that is really, really good. I'm delighted to see that. Really, really am.
Alex Albon today.
I thought I was about to celebrate on top of his car.
Performance from Williams today. Some excellent decisions and then some strategies that will need a bit of work.
Absolutely. This was very promising, and now the team will be doing everything they can to make good on that promise.
Now that all the points have been tallied, the team is in 10th place in the constructor standings.
They're now in there. They were already in 10th.
Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
Yes. So the next race we will be going to Australia. That I will be doing later on this evening. I need to go into town. I need to do some shopping, all the usual boring adult stuff after this. So let's have a look. So fastest lap was Charles Leclerc with a 32.0. Albon 34.9. So nearly 3 seconds slower. Latifi wasn't actually that much slower. Two tenths slower than Albon's fastest one. Obviously, he did the mediums towards the end, so better tyre at with obviously a lower fuel laps. But we've beaten the Astons, and that's what I wanted coming into this race. So I'm delighted that has happened. So drivers, has anything changed? So Albon goes above Stroll now in the standings. Obviously, no points from Daniel Ricciardo downwards, from 12 downwards. But Albon, obviously, by virtue of the finishing places, that means he goes above Stroll. Of course, Latifi remains bottom, and of course, we remain bottom overall compared to Aston Martin. So, nice bit of bonus for each driver. Nothing for Jack Aitken because we didn't use him in practice 1. We've got another 3.7 million into the bank from our sponsors. So, thank you, sponsors. Now, finishing up this session. If I remember correctly, we have got the end of our scouting coming up for our driver. And this is obviously the title of this video. Should I hire a new driver? Should I get rid of Nicholas Latifi? I'm so tempted. I really, really am. I'm so tempted. Yeah, that's fine. It was a great race displayed by the fine what you're doing as a team principal. Our confidence in you as a leader has most certainly increased. You met our expectations. That's good. That's all I wanted. On separate note, our telemetry says the top speed of car 1 could be better compared to the grid. We should design a new car part to improve this attribute and keep us competitive. We've also noticed that the defending performance of Alexander Albon could be improved. We should consider developing them. I don't think I can do that yet, because we don't have any development points, because you earn development points through the week and from the race, of course, and how well you do, and then you can use them to improve different things. So yeah, defending is definitely something that we'd like to improve. I think that Albon, everything else is fairly well rounded, and in the cornering, actually, cornering is definitely something. There's a lot of cornering in a lot of circuits that are utilised, and so we want to really take advantage of that where we can. Go back to the inbox. Yeah, that's everything there. So calendar, here we are. So tomorrow we'll have the helipad, we'll have the part manufactured, then we do not have a race weekend after that. Medias, more parts manufactured, and then the 6th. So 2 days before the Australian Grand Prix. So we're going to at least go forward at least to the 6th. Going to go forward at least to the 6th. Because I want to see what this scouting report says. I wanted this to be the last thing that we look at in this session. So our helipad has been improved. So £4 a month increase in terms of maintaining it, but we get a little bit more money from our sponsors, and our attractiveness has improved. And here is where the part gets manufactured, so we want to do that whilst we remember. We don't want to miss out on that. Okay, so over the last 30 days, so we spent, we basically were, we lost $8 million in fundings. A lot of the biggest expense of that was the facilities. A humongous chunk of that was the facilities, which is about that thing. That is definitely where that was. So I'm happy with that. So we want to improve those kind of things. Process. Yeah, those are all fine for now. So we can't do anything more at this moment in time. But we've had the new part come in, so let's change it. So it was, yeah, car 1. It was a suspension, wasn't it? Which one is it? Was it that one? Yes, that one. There we go. Yeah, so now have the same suspension on both of the cars. That's great. So they're now again on an even footing. And we're nearly there for our scouting. Nearly there! Yep, that's fine. We knew that was coming in. And the scouting. Oh, right. Know that. Right. So, we have the scouting for Jack Doohan and Theo Porcher. So, from an initial point of view, Jack Doohan, he's only got 9 months left in his contract, so he's definitely going to be a cheaper to buy out his contract. Whereas Theo Porcher, he's got 33 months, so that's nearly 3 years. He's got nearly 3 years left, so he's a lot more expensive if you want to get him. So let's straight away look at Jack Doohan. Okay, he's Australian. He's obviously open to us. Let's compare the drivers. Compare him to Latifi. So let's have a look-see here. So obviously they're the same overall rating, which is big. Actually, can we change can we not compare them? Here we go. So now we can compare these two actual drivers themselves. Okay, so like I said, Jack Doohan, he's straight away, he's more expensive. Sorry, he's cheaper compared to Theo Porcher, because Porcher's got a longer time left on his contract. So accuracy, Doohan miles better. Reactions miles better. Defending, Porcher beaten by 1. Overtaking Doohan by 5. Adaptability by 1. Theo Porcher in smoothness, he is miles better. He's over double the previous one. Control, Doing slightly gets that. Braking, Pocher by a little bit, and cornering, I guess that. So what we got? So Doing has got the edge on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Pocher's got the advantage in 3. I don't think this is a no-brainer. For me, Doing, I think he's going to slot straight into this team if we were to compare him to how can we change? There we go, that's how you do it. No, not Albon. Oh no, I wanted to change Albon side to Jack Doing. There we go, sorry. Right, so Pocher has advantage in 4 areas. Latifi has an advantage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas. So Latifi does have more of an advantage, but Latifi is 26. Jack Doing's 19. Doing's got a lot more potential. I think it's worth a gamble. When you compare the contract, so if we wanted to buy out Latifi, he's only a couple $100,000 and Doing a couple $100,000. I think we're talking about $400,000 to break the contracts. Should I hire a new? Should I hire Jack Doing? This is a $1 million question. It's quite aggressive in his driving, bit like Verstappen. Verstappen's very aggressive, so could be a bit of a risk, bit of a liability. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give him a chance. Yeah, so gonna look to replace him from Nicholas Latifi. So I want to give him at least a 2-season contract. So if you manage to get into if you finish in 10th, then you get a 10 grand bonus. I think that's reasonable. Gives you something to really aim for. 340,000 is, because that's basically the same as what he's getting at the moment. Let's send this over. Let's see what he says. Contract declined. Okay, so he's neutral about that. Neutral about the salary. He's not happy with the bonus threshold. So if we let's say if you were to get 15th, because at the moment I think that's a good one. Let's just give you a slightly. Let's go 370. That's 30 grand more on your salary. How do you feel about that? Go on. He's accepted. He's accepted the contract. So, if I press this button, he's replacing Nicholas Latifi. In 3, 2, 1, it's done. And Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan is the newest. He is the newest hire for Williams Racing. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited. So I'll be interested to keep an eye out on Latifi and see if he goes to any team or anything. See if anyone wants to take a risk on him, or if they want to go for someone free. I mean, who's the next lowest free agent? Roberto Miri, who's 31 at race 67. Yeah, no. I think we've secured a very good talent for the future. A lot of people would be going for Oscar Piastri. Like I said earlier on, I'm not too bothered about that. I think Jack Doohan is very good. I think he's got a lot of potential. Just interesting. What's his? Oh, Alexander Albon. He's got a salary of 6 million, whereas Jack Doohan, bless him, is only about 370,000. That's. But that's obviously Alexander. But he's got a lot more experience. He's got a lot of high potential, so he's definitely worth a bit more money. So that's where we are gonna leave things. We now have a new driver on the grid. We now obviously have 21 drivers in the standings, because Latifi, of course, was there at the bottom. But Jack Doohan will, of course, overtake him, and he'll end up higher up in that regard. So, coming up later on today is the Australian Grand Prix at the Albert Park circuit. I'm looking forward to that a little bit later on this evening. There you go. There's an email from Mariah Zilpa, the personnel officer. She's delighted to introduce Jack Doohan as our new driver. She'll attach a link to their profile and a contract below for our convenience. Join me in giving them a warm welcome to the team. Have a great day, Maria. So he's with us for 2 years. So he's got a monthly salary of 30,000. He earns more in a month than I bloody do in a year in real life. That's ridiculous. What I've just suddenly thought, we did want to look at staff, and obviously we couldn't do any more scouting for that, because of the fact that, of course, we were waiting for this scouting to finish. So now that that's happened, the very last thing I'm going to do, and then I'm going to end the stream in this video for today, is we want to have a look at definitely a better head of aerodynamics, without a shadow of a doubt. So we had, remember, I think we were looking, let me go through, who was it who was interested? Oh. Right. The only two that's open to negotiations is Salim Ndongo and Sheriff Lobo. I'm going to scout Salim, because he's the highest rating of the ones that are potentially interested in us. That's really all about all we can do. Technical Chief, we were obviously looking at some of these, weren't we? So again, we've only got T Chuang, who's open to it. Race engineers. Must be because we're doing bad on the grid. Yeah, we definitely need to improve things before we can get more people in, because they don't want to come to a bottom of the thing. So we'll scout T Zhuang as well, because we've got the spare scouts to be able to do that. they're literally the only ones that I would be potentially interested in, but realistically, is it going to be even worth it? Probably not. It's going to be the situation. Right. Right. Training and focus. Do we want to change on any of these? So we're probably going to use more engineers while we're doing this. This was another thing that I think was mentioned in the previous comment from the previous video. If you haven't checked out my first video, then do please go ahead and check that out. Of course, this is going to do that for this episode. We've done our second race where we beat Aston Martin. That was the aim. I'm delighted that we managed to achieve that. We have hired a new driver, so Jack Doohan will be making his debut for Williams Racing in the next episode. That will be coming out later this evening. I don't know exactly what time, but please do not miss out on that. Join me again later on this evening. Thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the usual bits and bobs. But for now, thank you very much. Take care.